Hi, it's Nicole for Bella Blvd, and today I am working with the documented collection. And the challenge that was given to me was half page design. When I heard that, my brain kind of went a couple different ways. And when I was going through my photos, I've got this photo of my kids last spring. It wasn't until we got home from school pickup that I noticed that they had gone to school dressed as twins. And we had a little laugh about that, especially because they are just completely different. She kind of plans her outfits and her whole aesthetic. He wears basic t-shirts and joggers most of the time. When it gets a little cooler, it's a hoodie. So I knew that I was probably going to focus on the two colors, the blue and the black. I pulled out some Bella Blvds and this blue floral from the documented. I considered the black and white polka dot from documented as well, but I really love the linen print from the Bella Blvds, so I'm going to go with that. I'm also using the white and like pale gray stripe from the Bella Blvds. This might be my last sheet. It is a go-to for me for backgrounds. It just makes lining up things like journaling strips and alphabet stickers so easy. Originally I thought I was gonna just do kind of two like 6-inch wide sections. However, I was like, you know what, let's just kind of cut some wonky strips and have this sort of open area in the middle to be able to have the journaling and the title kind of pop off. So I'm just kind of cutting some weird angles here. It doesn't fit on my trimmer, so I am just using a ruler. It doesn't completely fit on this as well, but I can go ahead and kind of connect the line and finish that cut. And then I was pretty sure that I was going to go ahead and do hand stitching on this layout. So I just make sure that I keep my adhesive kind of towards the middle and kind of keep it away from that 1/4-inch edge because I wasn't super sure, where I was going to place my stitching. So I just keep the adhesive away from the edges so that when I do my stitching, I'm not having to stitch through that sticky adhesive. I am going to add this text border that I cut from the border pattern paper from documented. And then on the blue side, I'm going to use this white scallop border sticker. I looked through, I think, everything from Bella Blvd that I have in my stash to see if I could find like a border strip, a border sticker, something in that blue color to kind of mimic what I had going on in the black side. Ultimately, I was like, this is fine. We're going to go with white. It's part of documented. It'll be great. Sometimes what you envision in your mind isn't going to always play out, and you're just going to have to pivot and find something else. I am pulling off elements from the chipboard, the adhesive chipboard, while I had it out. I want to use that good phrase. It's the right color. It's going to fit perfectly underneath my photo. Before I get too far, I did go ahead and I typed up my journaling. This is a template that I have. It's linked in all of the videos on my channel. And it's just a go-to kind of time saver for doing journaling strips. And 9 times out of 10, I prefer journaling strips just because I find them a little bit easier to change and rework where they're going to go if I need to do that. If I do like a text block, I'm kind of locked in on the size of it and where it can go. I drew some pencil lines for where I'm going to go ahead and poke the holes for my stitching. Everybody kind of does their hand stitching differently. Some people poke their holes and hold a ruler. I learned that does not work for me. I would bump the ruler. So pencil line and an eraser. I also like to just use one strand of thread, fold it in half, go ahead and thread it on my needle. I use size 24 tapestry needles, so they're not the sharp ones. And I just grab that loop to secure my first stitch, and I just kind of do a basic back stitch as far as I can go, grab another strand and keep going. I like the kind of homey texture that you get from hand stitching, and I love tone on tone hand stitching. So I think I like the journaling strips kind of up in that white area. I like that the journaling strips and that pattern paper kind of play into the tone on tone aspect of everything else that's going on. Now, here was where I was like, I feel like I need to matte the photo so that it stands out, but I couldn't decide between like black, blue. I thought about vellum. I kept looking at the sticker sheet and there's these photo corners. So I'm going to use these to matte my photo. I feel like I never think to use these. They're on every sticker sheet. I think this was the perfect application in my like style. And I feel like it just kind of helped that like plain white printed border stand out a little bit amongst everything else. Gonna go ahead and put down that adhesive chipboard, commit to putting the journaling strips down. Before I do that, I decided to tuck this tab up here. It's the same color and pattern as the blue floral tone on tone. So I just kind of wanted to bring a little bit of that blue to the top of the photo as well, and just kind of staggering these journal strips up above the photo. And then from here on out, I tend to kind of keep my embellishing simple. I thought about having a longer title. I just kind of went with good time. I was trying to play into the twin thing, and then ultimately I was like, it's kind of touched on in the journaling. I just want more of a kind of generic, basic, everyday type of title. And the documented line for sure is really, really hitting those like everyday moments for me. It kind of reminds me to stop and look for photos like this and these just kind of funny one-off stories that would probably either get lost in something like Month in Review or kind of, I don't know, just sit and wait till I was inspired. So kind of working backwards from collection to then finding photos has been a fun little challenge. I did go through, I remembered that there was die cuts. I don't know why I got this far and forgot that there was die cuts, but I dumped them out and just kind of did a quick look through, mostly just for anything that was like solid blue, solid black. I love that so many of the embellishments in Documented, I'd say about half of them have like that fun rainbow multicolored aspect to them, and then the other half are just these fun kind of individual colored elements. And that's kind of what I look for when I do sort of like a color focused design. And then none of the embellishing makes sense. I just kind of nestle some stuff to the right of the title, to the left of the title. Some of it is down below, some of it is up above. I've got a couple little paper clips up around the journaling. I added a phrase sticker up there to bring in that blue. And at the end, I'm going to kind of do some opposite colors here with these enamel hearts. I wanted to tuck some more at the top. And then I thought about adding some of the black puffy, but at this point I felt like it was balanced. I liked it. It tells the story. The focus is on the photos, and that's typically what I strive for. So I hope you found this inspiring. I hope you take a second look at Documented and those everyday memories that you may have. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, I'd love for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and leave a comment down below on what you think about the Documented collection and if you have any questions for me. And I will catch you guys in another video. Bye!